everyone. Nadine, you kindly called us experts. If there's one tip I've got, it's be suspicious of people who call themselves experts. So perhaps I stand in front of you as a cautionary tale. But I hope that my story is interesting and that you will take something from it. Yes, as Nadine explained, I started the business in 1993. And let me just start that going. Sorry. And but if I go back a little bit, I think this idea of being an entrepreneur or starting your own business started with me very young. Deborah slightly disagrees that you can teach people entrepreneurship, but I think when I was young, I just got it into my head that for me to really have a totally fulfilled life, I had to work for myself, start my own business, and that I think it was about having limitless possibility. It felt like my route to sort of a total sense of freedom, being in control of my life and having the possibility of an extraordinary life, for me, was about starting my own business. And I don't know if you guys feel like that. It'd be interesting to find out. But that was the sort of germ of my mentality that led me, I think, ultimately to starting my own business, even if I didn't have a big plan. And as Nadine says, my parents were living in Hong Kong. This is back in the late 80s, and my friends in England would say, "Oh, could you bring me back a bag or a watch from Hong Kong?" So I'd bring them back gifts. And this just turned into this very, very, very small business. I don't know what the word is for the smallest business that you can have, but that's what I had. And then, as I said, I had this burning ambition, but I didn't really have a route to fulfill my ambition other than this tiny little fledgling business I had. So really, that was the route I took. I thought, right, let's try and turn this into a proper business. So you could say I sort of fell into it, but I think it was sort of predestined. I went to university, and as all my peers were leaving university, they all went for job interviews and broadly were successful as far as I know. But I didn't go for those interviews. Well, I went to one. And I think we decided between the interviewer and me that actually within 10 minutes we agreed that I wasn't really looking for a job. And let's not waste our time. Let's crack on with whatever it is we really want to do. So I didn't have this big strategic plan. I didn't sit down and work out exactly what I should do, which is the advice I would give to you later on. But I kind of fell into it. And as I say, although I would give the advice to someone to really be strategic about their business, sometimes you do fall into a business, and that's where you find yourself. But all the same rules apply. You know, you do need to apply those sort of business strategies to the business wherever you are. In the stage of growing your business. I, as I say, opened the shop in 1993. The problem started, if you like, when I opened my second shop. Opening one shop didn't seem that challenging, and it was really exciting. My first Saturday, which was about 3 days into the opening, I still remember that sensation of driving home going, my God, this is going to work. This is incredible. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and it's going to be so exciting. Little did I know the journey I was going to go on, which was a very, very challenging one. And as I said, when I opened my second shop, it quickly became very clear that the skills that I had, such as they were very limited, and I wasn't equipped to run a business. I could run a shop, if you like, but not a proper business where you have to organize, you have to understand finance, you have to understand how to manage people, to name probably the two that really caused me the most sleepless nights. So then there was quite a protracted period of years where I was really struggling to run the business. I just got through it, and actually it's at times like that when you kind of know if it's really for you, because you can't teach people tenacity. You have to just be absolutely determined to achieve what you're going to do, and also I didn't have many other options, so I was the only thing I was going to do, and I had to see it through. So gradually I built a team around me of people who did have skills and did know what they were doing, and I was able to stick to what I was good at, which was sort of the buying, the product, and things like that. It started to really catch on as a business. I think, some of the, probably if we take our minds back to 2008, just thinking about some of the particular challenges we had as a business, the credit crunch really hit home. And as a business, we kind of had seen it coming, and we thought, well, we don't have any options here. We're going to have to go hell for leather. So we kind of expanded, opened lots of stores, moved our warehouse to a much bigger warehouse. And we had a terrible 6 months from when Lehman's went bust in October 2008. But we came through it, and actually, having opened those new stores, it really sort of pushed us on, and arguably we had a pretty good recession, because a lot of opportunities arise, and that's something worth bearing in mind for anyone starting a business. A recession, there's lots of reasons that a recession is a good time to start a business. There's a lot of more opportunities out there that otherwise, when the economy is booming, wouldn't necessarily be open to newcomers in a marketplace. So that's sort of a little bit of the history of the business. As I say, we'll be up to about 50 shops by the end of the year, and probably employing about 600 people. So we've come a long way in those years. And I was asked just to talk about role models. Actually, one thing I just wanted to say, I didn't really explain what the business does, which I should have said at the beginning. Sorry, a bit back to front, but that's the history of my career a bit. So we're retailers. We have 50 stores, website, and broadly we sell a range of products sort of categorized as lifestyle. So we sell, we have a team of designers which really concentrates on the fashion side of the business. That's ladies' fashion, jewelry, accessories, and then a team of designers that concentrates on home and gift. So we cover a lot of categories. Yeah, role model. I picked out Paul Smith. I'm sure most of you know Paul Smith, the designer Paul Smith. I really admire him. I don't know him actually, but everything I see about him, everything I read about him, he's just got a really lovely way about him. He carries his success very lightly. He's very humble, but he's very ambitious. And I just think he's got a lot of integrity. And I really like the way he's got such a sort of confidence to present his brand with all its eclecticism, which is something that really appeals to me. And at times I struggle to go, is our business, what am I doing? Is this a real thing? And actually, the combination of products is our sort of USP, if you like. So I think for me, he's an inspiring role model. Don't take tips from me, but I'll tell you what I think, what I should do. That's a tip. Don't take tips from me. Where do we go? Yes, what are my tips? So if you've got an idea, don't go, oh, this is such an amazing idea, I can't tell anyone, otherwise they'll all go and do it. Talk about it. The things you'll gain is so much more than some imaginary benefit you'll have to keeping it to yourself. So much will come out of it. So many things you weren't expecting, so many people you didn't realize you knew who knew about what you're doing, so much advice you'll be able to get. You can really hone your idea by talking to people, even to a slightly boring extent. And I think it'll help you work out your business philosophy. In my case, this took me 20 years to reach. But if you can get this at the beginning of your business, I think it really drives it forward, and it gives a real framework for every decision you make in the business. By way of example, Bill Gates's business philosophy, his aim is to allow people to achieve their greatest potential. Apple believe in challenging the status quo and in thinking differently. Which you could apply to Virgin, I think. And at Oliver Bonus, we believe good design helps us be the best versions of ourselves. So it really anchors the business, and I think it helps the people inside the business really get behind it, and I think it helps you when you're talking to customers as well. It gives you a coherent message. Just going back to work out your skill set. So it's part of really plan the business. So what do we need? Do we need marketing? Do we need finance? Do we need recruiting? Do we need what are the elements that are going to make up this business? How many of them can I actually do, honestly? And then find people to do the ones you can't, and make sure you're really covering all those bases. Quality. Yeah, I mean, it's tempting to take shortcuts at times, going, I have to get this to market, or it's so great, and my friends really like it. But you need to be utterly ruthless and relentless in pursuit of quality. If you take someone like Dyson, for example, just try in your head and imagine how many prototypes he made of his first vacuum cleaner. 100, that would feel like a lot. 500 would seem crazy. He must be this crazy guy. 1,000 just seems unrealistic. So if I told you he made 5,217 prototypes, you'd be surprised. But the result of that was this incredible product that just transformed his business, and he was able, off the back of that, to build something incredibly fast, incredibly large, and then he's been able to develop products after that. And I think quality, if you're going to do anything, just make sure you really spend time doing it well. And then scalability, which is just the idea that you're able to grow a business without having to sort of build new headquarters every time you want to grow a little bit or something. So it's the ability to grow fast from a tight kind of base. It'll make your life much more fun and the business much more entertaining if you can grasp that idea. So that's it, really. I hope that's 2 minutes. So just brace yourself for a bumpy ride and just focus on those limitless opportunities and the freedom that comes with it. Thank you very much.